First contact, first blood. The starship Hyperion sliced through the darkness of deep space, its fusion drives leaving a blue-white trail behind it. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes reflecting the stars visible through the main viewport. This was humanity's first deep space patrol beyond the Sol system, venturing further than any human ship had gone before. "Captain, we're picking up energy signatures ahead," reported Lieutenant Marcus Rodriguez from the sensor station. "Multiple vessels engaged in what appears to be combat." Chen moved to his station and studied the readings. "Magnify main screen." The view shifted to show several large, angular ships with predatory lines firing upon a smaller vessel. The smaller ship was clearly damaged, trailing debris and venting atmosphere. "Life signs?" Chen asked quietly. "The smaller vessel contains approximately 300 life forms, non-human signatures," responded Dr. Eliza Okafor, the ship's xenobiologist. "The attacking vessels show different biosignatures, also non-human." Chen's face hardened. Humanity had theorized about alien life for centuries, but this was their first confirmation, and it appeared they were witnessing an atrocity. "Open a channel," she ordered Communications Officer Jin Park. "To all vessels." "Channel open, Captain." Chen straightened her uniform. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth vessel Hyperion. Cease hostilities immediately and identify yourselves." The response came quickly, a harsh, guttural voice. "This is Commander Drask of the Vex Dominion Enforcement Fleet. This matter does not concern you, primitive vessel. Depart immediately or face destruction." "The smaller vessel?" Chen questioned. "Aetherian refugees, stolen property of the Dominion." Drask replied dismissively. "Final warning. Depart or be destroyed." Chen turned to her tactical officer, Major Kwame Nkosi. "Analysis of their weapons capabilities." Nkosi studied his displays. "Their energy signatures suggest weapons far more advanced than ours, Captain." But he hesitated. "Their defensive systems appear vulnerable to our particular weapons configuration." Chen nodded, considering. The Hyperion was designed primarily as an exploration vessel, but Earth had been cautious, equipping it with experimental defensive and offensive capabilities. "Commander Drask," Chen replied, "I cannot allow the slaughter of refugees. Stand down your weapons." A harsh laugh came over the comm. "You dare to challenge the Vex Dominion? Your funeral, human." Two of the Vex vessels broke away from the refugee ship and advanced toward the Hyperion. "Battle stations," Chen ordered calmly. "Evasive pattern Delta. Target their weapons systems only." The Hyperion's crew moved with practiced efficiency. The human vessel accelerated, its experimental inertial dampeners allowing it to maneuver in ways the alien vessels clearly didn't anticipate. "They're firing," called Nkosi. Purplish energy beams lanced toward the Hyperion, but Chief Engineer Takashi Yamamoto had been ready. Activating adaptive shields. The Hyperion's shields, designed to analyze and adapt to unknown energy signatures, absorbed the first shots, data streaming through the ship's quantum computers. "Shields holding at 82%, reported Yamamoto. "Already reconfiguring to resist their specific energy signature." "Return fire," ordered Chen. "Focused plasma beams, target their main weapons array." The Hyperion's weapons fired. Blue-white energy that sliced through space and impacted the lead Vex vessel. To everyone's surprise, the beam cut through the alien ship's shields like they weren't even there. "Direct hit," exclaimed Nkosi. "Their shields offered almost no resistance to our plasma weaponry." "They're reconfiguring," warned Rodriguez. "Second vessel coming in from port." Chen remained calm. "Rotate shield harmonics. Fire secondary batteries." The battle lasted barely 15 minutes. The Hyperion moved with a speed and agility the larger Vex vessels couldn't match. Each time they fired, the human ship's adaptive shields grew more resistant. Each time the Hyperion returned fire, the specialized plasma weapons seemed to bypass the Vex defenses entirely. Soon, both Vex vessels were disabled, their weapons systems destroyed. The remaining Vex ships are pulling back from the refugee vessel, reported Rodriguez, surprise evident in his voice. Open a channel to Commander Drask, Chen ordered. Channel open. This is Captain Chen. As you can see, Commander, we are capable of defending ourselves and others. I suggest you withdraw your forces completely. There was a long pause before Drask responded, his voice tight with fury. This is not over, human. The Dominion will remember this interference. The Vex vessels regrouped and then accelerated away, leaving the damaged refugee ship behind. Let's help those refugees, Chen ordered. Approach the vessel and prepare medical and engineering teams. Within an hour, the Hyperion had docked with the damaged Etherian ship. Dr. Okafor led the first contact team, establishing communication with the grateful aliens, slender, silver-skinned beings with large, expressive eyes. Their leader, identified as Mira, was brought to the Hyperion's conference room to meet with Captain Chen. You saved our people when no one else would dare, Mira said, her voice melodic through the translation software. The Vex Dominion controls dozens of star systems. They enslave any species they deem useful and exterminate those they do not. We couldn't stand by and watch, Chen replied simply. You don't understand what you've done, Mira continued. No one I can read, Drask snapped. What about their technology? Even more concerning, Varn continued. Their ship contains contradictions. Some systems use primitive materials and design principles, while others operate on theoretical models our science hasn't mastered. Their adaptive shielding in particular. How did they penetrate our shields? Drask demanded. Varn's skin paled. We believe their weapons operate on a phase variance our shields aren't designed to stop. It's not that their weapons are more advanced. They're simply different, incompatible with our defensive theories. On the Hyperion, Captain Chen was reviewing their options with her senior staff. The Vex reinforcements will arrive within 12 hours, Rodriguez reported. Long-range sensors show at least 15 vessels, all larger than the ones we engage. The Etherian ship is repaired enough for FTL travel, added Yamamoto. We've given them coordinates to a safe location in Earth-controlled space. And Earth's response? Chen asked. Communications Officer Park looked up from his console. Message received and acknowledged, Captain. Admiral Okonkwo has authorized immediate mobilization of the first deep space fleet. They're dispatching 12 vessels, but they won't arrive for at least 18 hours. Chen nodded, calculating. We need to buy time. Major Nkosi leaned forward. Captain, I've been analyzing the Vex attack patterns. Their tactics are predictable. They rely heavily on superior firepower and don't adapt quickly to unexpected situations. You have a plan, Major? Nkosi smiled. Several, actually. The Hyperion may be outgunned, but we're faster and more maneuverable. And after studying their scan patterns, I believe we can feed them false readings about our capabilities. 6 hours later, the Hyperion faced the incoming Vex Armada alone. The Etherian vessel had departed with a small Earth delegation to guide them safely to human space. Vex fleet dropping out of FTL, announced Rodriguez. 15. No, 17 vessels. Battle formation. Open a channel, Chen ordered. Drask's face appeared on the main screen. His reptilian features showed contempt. Captain Chen, your courage is admirable, if foolish. Surrender your vessel for study, and I may allow your crew to live as research subjects. Chen smiled coolly. Commander Drask, I've studied the scan data you took of my ship. Fascinating reading. Did you find what you were looking for? Drask's eyes narrowed. You allowed us to scan your vessel. A mistake. Was it? Chen replied. Computer, execute Trojan Horse Protocol. Throughout the Vex fleet, alarm systems suddenly blared. Their scanning systems, which had stored the Hyperion's data, began experiencing failures and rebooting. What have you done? Drask growled. When you scanned us, you downloaded more than just information. Chen explained. Your arrogance made you careless. But that's just a temporary distraction. Here's my offer. Withdraw now or face the consequences." Drask laughed harshly. "You bluff well, human, but one vessel cannot stand against a fleet." "Who said I only have one vessel?" Chen nodded to Park. Suddenly, the void around the Hyperion shimmered as 6 additional signatures appeared on Vex sensors. "Holographic projections," Yamamoto explained to the bridge crew. "Combined with modified sensor echoes. Not perfect, but enough to create confusion." The battle that followed would later be studied in military academies across the galaxy. The Hyperion moved with impossible speed, striking at Vex vessels, and then disappearing among its holographic duplicates. The human ship's adaptive shields, now fully calibrated against Vex weapons, absorbed punishment that should have destroyed it. Each time the Vex thought they had cornered the real Hyperion, it would emerge elsewhere, firing precision strikes against engines and weapon systems. "They cannot sustain this," Drask insisted as another of his cruisers reported critical damage. "Find that ship." But the Hyperion had another advantage: its crew. Humans evolved on a world that required constant adaptation, problem-solving under pressure, and cooperation. The Vex, accustomed to overwhelming force and rigid command structures, couldn't match the human crew's creativity and initiative. Despite their brilliant tactics, however, the Hyperion couldn't hold out forever. After 10 hours of hit-and-run combat, the ship's systems were failing. "Shields down to 18%, reported Yamamoto, his console sparking. "Hull breaches on decks 5 through 8, weapons capacity at 30%. Chen studied the tactical display. They had disabled or damaged 11 Vex vessels, but 6 remained fully operational. "We've done what we can," she said quietly. "Send the final message to Earth. Include all combat data." Park worked his console. "Transmission complete, Captain." "Incoming communication from Commander Drask," Rodriguez announced. The Vex commander's face appeared, now showing a grudging respect. "You have fought well, humans, but it ends now. Prepare to be boarded." Suddenly, Rodriguez straightened. "Captain, multiple FTL signatures detected. They're ours." The main screen shifted to show space itself, seeming to fold as 15 Earth vessels emerged from faster-than-light travel, a mixture of dedicated warships and converted civilian vessels hastily armed for battle. "The fleet wasn't due for another 4 hours," Chen said, surprised. "Message from the ESS Thunder," Park reported. "Admiral Okonkwo sends his compliments and says they found a shortcut." The Earth fleet moved with precision, surrounding the remaining Vex vessels. Admiral Okonkwo's face appeared on the Hyperion screen. "Captain Chen, impressive work. We'll take it from here." What followed wasn't a battle but a demonstration. Earth's fleet, drawing on the combat data the Hyperion had transmitted, had already adapted their weapons and shields to counter Vex technology. 3 Vex vessels were disabled in the first exchange of fire. On his command ship, Drask watched in disbelief. "Impossible. They've already adapted. They've only just encountered our technology." "Sir," his tactical officer interrupted, "we're detecting more human ships entering the system. Many more." The display showed 20 additional Earth vessels arriving, ranging from small, agile fighters to massive, heavily armed colony ships converted for battle. "They're everywhere," whispered Varn. "How did they mobilize so quickly?" Drask made the only logical choice. All vessels, disengage and retreat. Full emergency FTL. The remaining Vex ships fled, leaving behind their disabled comrades. In the aftermath, Captain Chen met with Admiral Okonkwo aboard the Thunder. "You arrived earlier than expected," Chen noted. Okonkwo smiled. "Your first transmission about the Vex got people moving quickly. When Earth realized we weren't alone in the galaxy and that our neighbors weren't all friendly, every available ship was mobilized. The civilian captains volunteered immediately." "Civilian captains?" Chen asked, surprised. "This is humanity's fight now, Sarah. not just the militaries. When we heard one of our ships was defending refugees against bullies, Okonkwo shrugged. Well, humans have never liked bullies. In the days that followed, the true impact of humanity's arrival on the galactic stage became clear. The Vex Dominion, for the first time in centuries, had been dealt a significant defeat. Word spread quickly through subspace communications. Representatives from a dozen species arrived to meet with Earth's diplomats. Most had suffered under Vex domination. All were astonished that a species previously unknown had successfully stood against the Dominion. In a formal ceremony aboard Earth's newly established space station Unity, Captain Chen watched as humanity signed its first interstellar alliance with the Etherians and 5 other species. Mira, now serving as the Etherian ambassador, spoke quietly to Chen during the reception. When the Vex scanned your ship, they thought they were gaining an advantage over you, she said. Instead, they revealed to the galaxy what you truly are. And what's that? Chen asked. Mira's large eyes reflected the stars visible through the viewport. Hope. The Vex and others like them believed strength came from domination. You showed that true strength comes from defending others, from standing up when it would be easier to walk away. As Chen looked out at the gathering, humans mingling with a diverse array of alien species, she reflected on how quickly everything had changed. Humanity had ventured into space expecting to find wonders. They had found those, certainly, but also dangers and responsibilities they never anticipated. The Vex had scanned a human warship and discovered a species forged by hardship, united by compassion, and driven by an unrelenting determination to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. And the galaxy would never be the same. I'd be happy to continue developing this story further or make any adjustments you'd like to the parts I've written. Would you like me to create any additional content related to this story, such as YouTube descriptions or image prompts?